I'm interested to see how this coverage team. Uh-oh, Bryce. It's looking like a fat. Oh!
And they will end up just kicking it away in the end.
Wow, Bryce.
Downing it all the way at the 1. And again, sorry, folks, for the internet issues. I think we do have it sorted. I switched to my phone hotspot, and usually that can be a little bit stronger, but I do want to let you know that I am working on it.
And Bryce, I said it once, and I'll say it again, but special teams is the third of the game, and that was just a huge play to pin Big Walnut back in their own territory. And this defense is going to need every little bit of help to kind of get a quick 3 and out. To try to get some momentum back on offense to help their offense out.
So Big Walnut backed up into a pretty tight situation. And we'll have a timeout.
This is always an interesting play calling scenario, Bryce. Back in the shadow of your own goalposts. Often keeps offensive coordinators up at night, I'm telling you. You want to get some breathing room for your punter, but you also want to get something going for your offense. It's a very thin line to straddle. But the way their offense has been humming, I have no doubt they won't be able to get something. But if you're the Jaguars, you have to turn up a little bit. You really need to take it up another octane to kind of get some momentum to help off your offense. Because if you can stop them right here, this is going to be great field position for your punter to try to get some points on the board. Like we said earlier in the pregame, Bryce, Jaguars like playing in the kind of these ugly games, right? 10-17 or 23-22. They can't run track races like how Big Walnut likes to. They're 45-50. That's just not their identity. So this is a kind of a really monumental drive for their defense early and often to kind of put something, give some type of life. Because if they go 17-0, we've seen this multiple times. This Big Walnut's offense is huge.
And they'll press Stumpf forward. He'll pick up about 4 yards, and that'll give them a little bit of breathing room as it brings up 2nd down.
I think I saw the numbers in my pregame, Bryce. You know, Big Walnut outscored their opponents like 106-35 in the first quarter.
And it's so hard once you're down and trailing in that first quarter. I mean, it's almost like you're kind of getting a surprise jab to the face, and you got to figure out, you got a game plan on the fly.
And then you're just running to the Big Walnut strings with running the rock, bleeding the clock.
So they'll hand it off, I believe, to Buirley. They'll work it a few yards closer, and I think they're going to be about 2 yards short of the first down as it brings up 3rd down.
All right, if you're your defense coordinator right here, Bryce, there's a couple calls on your play sheet that's highlighted. You got to bring your best dress to the function right here. Get off the field. You can't let this drive go on because this could be a backbreaker.
So they will line up in the I formation. 2 wide receivers. Stumpf 2 for 3 passing so far. Make it 3 for 4. Will it be enough as Gavin Harrington makes the completion? And they will say that's way more than enough. 1st down.
And that's not idealistic for the Jaguars defense, but they're not out of it yet. But it's looking pretty good for Big Walnut's offense. They're humming like a 2024 Chevy Impala. Clean, no sound, and ready to play some Silk Sonic, Bryce.
Buirley, 34 yards on 4 carries. They'll send him away. Stumpf will take it out on his own. Inches towards the 1st down marker. I think they're going to give it to him.
And that's an interesting call, Bryce. I was all interested to see how often they're going to call this, right? We always talk about Buirley, his legs, but Stumpf has legs too, has pretty good wheels. And that was just a good QB designated run.
And if you remember last year, I mean, the first 4 or 5 games of the season, Eli Stumpf was not known for running the ball. He had an average of like 2 yards a carry or something like that. It was really a desperation situation. This is something that he's added to his game as of late.
Definitely, Bryce. I think it was like week 3, he was like negative, like 14 yards on the ground. And, you know, and he's just learned. It seems like he's just kind of tuned into it.
And a great job by the wide receiver, or the tight end of Brody Schuster, to take the damage, but hang on to the ball.
Another first down for the Eagles.
Well, like you say, he's growing to a great complementary player and a great leader on this offense. Not forcing, making those stubborn plays maybe he did in his sophomore year, trying to force some balls, right? Can't see downfield. What does he do? What does he do? You know, tucks it, just gain a couple and live to see another day. That just makes the difference between good and great, Bryce.
So that will expire the first quarter. Stay with us for second quarter action coming up in just a sec.
At Knox Community Hospital, your primary care physician is more than someone who delivers your test results, more than someone who writes prescriptions, more than someone who listens to your heart. We are your healthcare partner who takes the time to know you, listen to your concerns, and provide you with expert personalized care to make and keep you well. Because to us, you're more than just numbers on a chart. You're a neighbor and a friend. Knox Community Hospital, in the community, for the community. Back for second quarter action as Big Walnut will pick it up, handing it off to Nolan Buirley as they inch towards the eye of the Eagle. It'll make it second down and medium.
Crosses the 40 up near the 43.
And once again, Bryce, just an amazing push by the front big guys right there. Do what they had to do. You know, their back was on, their booty cheeks were on the goal line right there, right? And they're able to push these Jaguars basically now about the midfield. Like I said, these guys been here before. Experience is showing.
An empty backfield for Stumpf. He wants to show what he's got. Puts Buirley in motion. They'll just hand it off on the sweep. Across the 50, sees some daylight, and he's hit out of bounds. They'll rule him down right at the 36-yard line.
Hey, Bryce, you know, that was really interesting. We didn't really see that a lot with Buirley, right? Him coming in, the jet sweep. That's kind of like Brody's thing last year. And, you know, that's just good to see the offensive coordinator get him involved in nice, unique ways. Keep the defense honest.
They'll hand it off again, this time on the counter.
Oh, wow.
Shakes the tackler and still clean on his feet as he crosses the red zone line at the 18. He's finally brought down, so it's a first down and another chance at scoring for Big Walnut.
Oh, brother, those week 1 ankle breakers. You love to see them, right? Buirley's showing why he's going to Northwestern tonight, right? He's doing great things.
And they will throw the flag. It's a false start is what they'll rule it. And you get a look at just everybody graduating on both sides of the ball. Last season graduating with Tequan Bunting, Brody Hatfield, Dallas Beal, Jack Rigg, Owen Pollock, Jake Wecker, Brody Eckelbarger, who, by the way, friend of the broadcast, was a cameraman for us during the basketball season. Hope you're listening, Brody.
The Broster, love him, man. Hope you're doing great, buddy.
But so many players leaving this team. I think the good part of them blowing teams out every single game is that a lot of these guys have seen a lot of varsity reps already despite not being the starters.
Definitely, Bryce, especially with a nice all-season, too, with them kind of filling into their roles and gaining that confidence as well. Like I said, the experience is showing. They've been here before. They know what they have to do to be great. It's all about execution. Having that kind of anxiety, right? All can. We want to start off great. We want to start off fast, and we did it. But how can we keep on being consistent?
And we'll see. Home crowd pretty confident that's an offsides, and I do think that's the ruling.
You know, Bryce, until these last 2 plays, I was going to say it's been a pretty good game penalty-wise. You just don't see that week 1. I think it just shows the effort, the discipline of these 2 teams. You know, I think we saw in our pregame that the Jaguars head coach, he's like 2 wins away from 100.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Coach Mike LoParo.
Coach LoParo, you know, congratulations to you on a phenomenal career so far.
Only the second coach in Hilliard Bradley history. The program started in 2008. Had a coach for 2 years, and the rest of the time it's been LoParo. Oh, a great ball right on the money. Touchdown, Eli Stumpf to Gavin Harrington. What a beauty.
And we just seen this so many times from Stumpf. Joe cool, too cool for school, right? Taking his time, using his legs instead of play, and then bang, right? Right, able to decipher the defense. Just playing backyard football back there. Play breaking down, drawing plays in the dirt.
Nothing but success for Big Walnut.
Oh, Bryce.
They're going to take it himself. Buirley will shovel, pass it ahead, and it's good for 2. So Big Walnut leading this one 18-0 over Hilliard Bradley. Stay with us. There's 10:03 remaining here in the second quarter.
Call Buckeye Horizon, your local trained comfort specialist.
I like being able to give back to the community, and just our teamwork is really solid. It makes it an incredible place to work because a lot of people enjoy what they're doing and want to help out.
You get to learn every day. You get to meet very unique people. I get to interact with everyone from the clinical staff to the administrative staff. Everyone has something to offer. It's kind of like a million puzzle pieces coming together to make one large, beautiful piece.
So after the 2-point conversion was secured by Gage Eckelbarger.
Oh, Bryce, they blooped it. Oh, Bryce, oh, wow.
Oh, an almost disaster for Hilliard Bradley, but they're able to lock it down, and they will, in fact, begin their possession on offense.
You know, Bryce, I just got to give a credit to the play calling so much. Again, so many things on tape, because we saw this so many times last year, right? They come up and they act like they come back. But when they kind of go off quickly like that, you get to that stuff on tape, and as a coordinator, you now have to respect that. And for them doing this stuff early and often in the season is just really good coaching, really good play calling. Making the opponent look at a lot of things is just saying one thing, Bryce.
Able to shake a few tacklers, great athleticism, but finally it'll be Truss that's taken down on the carry.
And that was probably one of the best offensive plays that the Jaguars had all night, Bryce. Great push up front. Truss able to keep his feet churning.
The offense right back to it. They'll hand it to Truss once again. They'll pound it forward. Looks like he will pick up the first down. Doesn't look like too much more after that. You'll notice Gage Eckelbarger wearing number 11, and that is in honor of Mitchell Young. They both shared love of the number 11, and they read before the game that he wanted to let the Young family know that Mitchell still remembered and cared about by the community.
Definitely. You know, Bryce Truss seems like somebody yelled at him on the sideline. He's running mad right now.
Yeah.
But that's what the Jaguars are needing. Oh!
Able to knock it down. It'll be incomplete, they say, but right off of the line in a hurry.
Bryce, I like the idea. Just, you know, sometimes it's a great play, but better defense. And, you know, the Big Walnut defense just had a great push right there. But I like the play action after especially having Truss, having a couple good runs back to back. But you just need to execute a little better if you're the Jaguars will make some noise in this drive.
It was senior Ethan Helton with the breakup. It'll be a pass out wide. Able to stay on his feet. Angelo Craig, the receiver, pulling it in, and will be positive yardage. Looks like a pickup of about 5.
This isn't the first time we saw a wide receiver screen. Just gotta get your players in space to make plays. It was second and long. Needed something to make it more third down and manageable. This is the type of call, if you're an offensive coordinator, you just hate to call right here. It's third and a little over medium. You need to pick up something, Bryce, this series.
So lining up once again in the gun. One man in the box for Big Walnut, but the rush too. And it was Helton feeding into that, but not able to pull it down, and you could tell he was spying on that one. He wanted that one.
Definitely. You know, they say if you can't take the heat, get out the kitchen, Bryce. And, you know, Big Walnut's defense turned the heat up on the quarterback on that one. Didn't have much time to think about it. Threw to the safety valve, and he just wasn't ready, and DB ran a route better than him on that iteration of the play.
So lining up in the punt formation. There was some funny business last time. We'll see if they go with that again. Not this time, as it's just straightforward punt. And he will just pull it in on the fair catch right around the 20-yard line. So right around touchback territory.
And how many times do you go to the well, Bryce? You're putting these Jaguars defense in a really awkward spot. It's 18-0. 8 minutes left in the second quarter, and how many times have we seen the story last season with Big Walnut?
Just inside the 21.
So maybe a timeout will be called, and not sure which side just yet.
This is, I know I've been saying this the last couple of drives, but this is just how the Big Walnut defense just bust opens the game, right? So many times last year we've been watching it, and it's like 14-0, and then at the end of the half, it's 35-0. It's huge. You need to stop. Their offense isn't really doing you any favors. You need to do something, and the Jaguars are once again, you're going to the well, ask your defense to get a big task. Not many defenses can stop this Big Walnut offense, but hopefully they can slow them down.
Taking a look at some of the stats so far in the game, Eli Stumpf is 6 for 7 with 75 yards and 2 touchdowns. Nolan Buirley with 7 rushes and 82 yards, yet to pick up his first touchdown of the season. Stumpf also has 21 rushing yards on his record as well. Taking a look at the defense, the tackle leader is Cole Swanger with 2.
He's looking good. If I'm looking at it correctly, Stumpf is just under shy of 100 all-purpose yards on offense, just him by himself.
And he's had great selection. I mean, he's thrown 1 to Bowers, 2 to Stumpf, 2 to Harrington, 1 to Schuster. I mean, he has the options at wide receiver.
Spreading the wealth, Bryce.
Harrington in motion. Stumpf is under center. He'll give it to Buirley. Fights to stay on his feet before he's finally brought down. Pick up looks like about 6.
And that's just a textbook Big Walnut first down call right there, right? Hitting the ball up to Buirley, see what we can get. If he puts us ahead of schedule, great. This opens up the playbook so many times. I wouldn't be surprised they go for a play action pass right here, Bryce. Second and short. A lot of options here.
It's like the perfect coaching scenario. So they're stacking the right side of the line. They'll hand it right off to Buirley. Buirley skips across the first down marker and is brought down right around the 37-yard line. So the chains will move again.
35 under the 37. Gage Woods.
Well, that's just a great run right there. The front line's doing what they usually do, which is just pushing those guys up front. Jaguars are just trying to throw different types of pressure at them, just haven't been able to find an answer yet. But they're going to need to find what they're going to try to get a win tonight, Bryce.
So it looks like Stumpf and Harrington out wide to the left. They'll look for Buirley. Buirley met right at the catch, somehow able to stay on his feet, but not for much longer as he's pushed out of bounds for a loss.
Hey, we said this earlier before, Bryce, just the play calling be divisive. Getting Buirley in space, players make plays, right? So often we see him getting the handoff, put him on a bubble, put him out against a smaller defensive back, trying to make a play, right? Who knows? He breaks that one tackle, able to turn up. We could be seeing him tiptoeing the casa.
Jaguars lining up with 2 linebackers in the box, 2 men deep in the secondary, and looks like someone got a hand on it. The intended receiver there was Jackson Bowers, but looks like that was number 42 on the tip, Caleb Lowry.
And that's just a great play by Lowry. They always teach you, if you can't get to the quarterback, put your hands up. They brought an extra linebacker, Bryce, to bring some pressure. It paid off for them. Now it's 3rd and long, and this is crucial for them to get off the field.
So 3rd and 13 to be exact. The line to gain is the 47 on his back foot. Stumpf will make the completion. Buirley has one in front of him, sensing his first touchdown as he cuts back towards the midfield, but it's not going to be this time taken down at the 22-yard line. It will be a really healthy run.
I got to give homage to my defensive line coach. He coached 3 iterations in my family, Coach Rose. He says if something's too good to be true, it usually is. If you're walking in as defensive lineman, usually that's just a screen right behind you.
Able to find a hole as he fits through. Chain gang kind of slow to get things set up, but it looks like he'll pick up about 5.
Looks like we have an injured Jaguar in the field, Bryce.
And so they will bring on the trainers. So they're going to reset the play clock for the injury timeout. But Big Walnut, I mean, this offense continuing to churn. Not too many negative plays we've seen for them so far tonight.
Bryce, that screen was just a great iteration, once again, of the poisonous of this offense. They're cool, calm, and collected. Joe Cool's running the show, and Buirley just doing the great things, right? That screen was just a great iteration. They were back deep, able to find their way, and now they're knocking on the red zone.
Credit to the defense of Bradley. I mean, they have a couple of guys with 3 tackles already. Gage Woods, and also your player spotlight, Micah Fisher as well, has 3 tackles, one of them for a loss.
Definitely, but it's the thing with Micah Fisher, you know, when you're a DB, you're having such a threat as Buirley, he's going to come back to the line, which makes them more susceptible to deep passes over the head.
So 2nd and 5.
Uh-oh, reverse Bryce.
They'll flip it back. Bowers throws it towards the end zone. Harrington tries to bring it down, but instead it's going to be a pass interference as the defender went right into his stomach.
That was a remember the Titans play right there, the double reverse pass. So close, but so far away to the execution, but hey, they get points, style points for me, Bryce.
So Jackson Bowers is officially listed as the backup quarterback for Big Walnut. So we saw him a couple of touchdown passes, I believe, last year, 2-point conversion attempts at least. So it will result in a first down. Half the distance to the goal puts him on the 9-yard line. So the chain gang will take a rest.
Takes the ball down inside the 10.
And this is just a back break for Bradley. You know, you see your offense doing things like this. They're having fun. They're going to the sidelines, giving high fives. They're everything besides confident, right? They're doing everything they want to.
Well, I think a great idea by the cornerback just to push him. He knew he was burned, and I mean, a few yards is better than 6 points.
Definitely.
Buirley hit hard, spins out of the tackle, and he will pick up his first touchdown of the season. Nolan Buirley makes it 24-0.
No better illustration of what the mission is for Buirley, right? Deny me once, your fault. I'm going no matter what. Get out of my way. I'm going to play in November, buddy.
30 touchdowns to his record last season, over 2,200 rushing yards.
You know, it's always a good feat when one of your best players is a quote-unquote quiet night for him is 100 yards and 1 touchdown before halftime, right?
Yeah, 103 yards and a touchdown now, yeah. So a line drive point after is good. Make it 25-0. Big Walnut leads Hilliard Bradley with 5:09 remaining here in the second quarter. Stay with us.
At Knox Community Hospital, your primary care physician is more than someone who delivers your test results, more than someone who writes prescriptions, more than someone who listens to your heart. We are your healthcare partner who takes the time to know you, listen to your concerns, and provide you with expert personalized care to make and keep you well. Because to us, you're more than just numbers on a chart. You're a neighbor and a friend. Knox Community Hospital, in the community, for the community.
Kicking it away, there's 5:09 remaining in the second quarter as Bradley will look to erase the 0 from the scoreboard and hoping for a score on this drive so they can go into the locker room with something on the board.
Yeah, Bryce, you definitely need something, right? If you definitely want to make this the game, and another thing you don't want to have right here is don't a quick 3 and out, because now we're getting into that 35-point territory, and that can be very hard for teams, especially for running clock in the second half. This is a big one, but kind of we're going to be saying this for the rest of the game. Every drive now is going to be big ones for the Jaguars. They're going to try to get back in this game.
Putting a lot on the shoulders of quarterback Declan O'Neal. He's 3 for 6 passing. Also has 5 rushes. We'll hand it off this time to Truss. Truss bounces off of his own guy before falling forward. Picks up 2 yards in the process as it brings up 2nd and 8.
And just kudos to Truss, just trying to be patient as a runner, trying to find a nice hole to kind of pierce through. But, you know, as he's just kind of going the length of his field, you know, these Big Walnut linebackers are running sideline to sideline and really didn't amount to anything. But kudos to him for trying to be patient, trying to find a hole. It's just not here tonight. Got O'Neal rolling out. Extending the play with his feet, Bryce, and he's just gobbled up by 2 Big Walnut defenders in the backfield.
Take another look at the whole play. And it's TJ Minor who initially caused the pressure, cutting all the way back and finally securing the tackle.
TJ Minor making a major play in the backfield, Bryce, him and some company. And that's just not what you want to see if you're Bradley. Like we said, you don't want a quick 3 and out. It's 3:20. You hate to see giving this ball back to Big Walnut with around 2 minutes left in the second quarter.
Flipping it again to Truss. Truss will pick up.
Oh, nice spin. Nice spin. 2 twins. Oh,
plenty
wow.
in the process, so erasing the big defensive play for Big Walnut.
Hit the B button twice. Once, twice. You love to see that, Bryce. Making something out of nothing. Getting Big Walnut a little bit takes their own mess with the screen right there. But that was very much needed for the Jaguars on offense. Probably one of their most explosive plays on offense, and they started probably 5 to 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
They'll hand it off to Truss, who gets smacked by a couple of linebackers and brought down, but a healthy gain for him.
And Truss, I love the way he runs the ball. He runs the ball like a madman with his hair on fire. The way his feet hit the ground, he's pounded on it, right? He's an angry runner. You know, when you get kind of down big like this, you kind of have to maybe sway away from the run game, but kudos to the Jaguars for keeping the Big Walnut defense honest.
So it'll be Truss again, who is wrapped up around the ankles before he's finally brought down by a couple more Golden Eagles.
And Truss is a bigger back, Bryce. You know, he has a lot of gravity in his lower leg, so you know if you're a Big Walnut defense, you can't wrap him up with your arms. You're going to have to put your guns in your holster and tackle him.
So 3rd and just 2 yards that the Jaguars have to overcome in order to earn themselves a first down. Less than 90 seconds remain here in the half. This would be a huge confidence boost for them heading into the locker room if they were able to pick up these 45 yards to the end zone. They'll pick up the first down and a few more yards as it puts them inside the 40-yard line.
And you can trust Truss right now. He's putting the team on his back on his offensive drive. Doing everything he can to keep this drive breathing.
And so timeout called by Hilliard Bradley as they'll talk this one over. 1:15 remaining here in the second quarter. But still a lot of football left to be played in this one. And like we were saying, this could be a huge confidence boost if they were able to pick up a touchdown. I mean, just understanding that they can crack this defense.
Definitely. You know, sometimes, Bryce, not the best basketball player growing up, but when I was shooting threes and they weren't going in, what my dad used to tell me was sometimes you just need to see a layup go in, right?
Yeah.
Even if they're able to just get a field goal in. Something to just breathe on and something to build on in the locker room. 25-3 sounds a little better than 25-0, but they won 6. I wouldn't be surprised if they take a shot right here, Bryce, just to see if they can get something.
Instead, it'll be Gordon carrying the ball. He'll pick up, looks like it'll end up being a loss after all. The clock continues to run as we cross the 1 minute mark.
Yeah, you know, the Jaguars was running the wide zone to the short side of the field. You know, just wasn't able to get anything going. And, you know, once again, Truss is just patiently running, trying to find that hole to pierce. Just wasn't able to find anything. Got trips to the wide side, Bryce.
Dropping back to pass, going deep. And it'll be about 5 yards past the receiver. The intended receiver was Miles Mason, 6-foot junior.
Hey, you know, Bryce, I was expecting that, right? You got to keep them honest. You know, you're in somewhat striking distance. 30 seconds left on the clock. You got to take a shot, you know, especially off this Big Walnut secondary. We have a lot of new names back there. Just see what they got back there, right? But, you know, you got 3rd and a little bit of drama.
3rd and 13 to be exact. The 31 is the line to gain. Minor will force the sack.
TJ Minor with a major play. The backfield, Bryce. They must didn't give him lunch today. He's eating sack lunches all in the first half.
And I think probably the most amazing part about his development is the discipline in the offseason that he's developed. Last year, he was really susceptible to those personal foul, late hit, roughing the passer type penalties. But this year, he's cleaned that up so much. I mean, you can tell it's really been a focus of his game.
He looks like a different player in the best way, Bryce. You know, like you said, there was a little bit of growing pains as he was kind of put into that varsity spot. But this year, especially in the front 7, he wants to be a leader. And you can definitely see that. You know, I think it's 3 first-half sacks in the first game, a home opener. That's great, you know, and I'm interested to see how he's going to progress throughout the season.
And so that will wrap up the first half of play. Big Walnut leading this one 25-0 over Hilliard Bradley. Stay with us for the band show coming up next.
Take a look at all the action from Friday Night Football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH Report.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the 2026 Hilliard Bradley Marching Band. Tonight, the band will present their first movement of their 2026 competition show, Exclamation. The movement starts with the Dies Irae from Giuseppe Verdi's Requiem, featuring a soprano saxophone solo by Garrett Rice. This transitions into Aha by English electro-pop artist Imogen Heath, before returning to Verdi's Requiem again to close out the movement. Ladies and gentlemen, the Hilliard Bradley Marching Band.
After all the extensive travels in Europe and stuff,
color guard instructor Megan Daniel, and field commander Samantha Wright. From the ashes of the past, a new fire awakens. Witness the rise of a great legend, the Phoenix. If the world is going up in flames tonight, we're going down together. Grab your phones, light up the stands, and get ready for this massive hit. Here is Bruno Mars and Lady Gaga's Die With a Smile.
Good job, Ryan. Good job.
But we're going to wrap up tonight's performance with a hit you saw in pregame here. This is Abra Cadet.
What was it that you used to play? Is that what it is that you played all the time? I'm childish, so I would have started that song and then like, and then doing something else. Yep.
When it comes to comfort, every degree matters. At Buckeye Horizon, we proudly install and maintain Trane heating and cooling systems built to last, engineered for performance. And with our expert service, your home stays comfortable year-round. No matter the season, we'll keep your system running at its best. Call Buckeye Horizon at 419-529-2738, your local Trane comfort specialist.
I like being able to give back to the community, and just our teamwork is really solid. It makes it an incredible place to work because a lot of people enjoy what they're doing and want to help out.
You get to learn every day. You get to meet very unique people. I get to interact with everyone from the clinical staff to the administrative staff. Everyone has something to offer. It's kind of like a million puzzle pieces coming together to make one large, beautiful piece.
At Knox Community Hospital, your primary care physician is more than someone who delivers your test results, more than someone who writes prescriptions, more than someone who listens to your heart. We are your healthcare partner who takes the time to know you, listen to your concerns, and provide you with expert personalized care to make and keep you well. Because to us, you're more than just numbers on a chart. You're a neighbor and a friend. Knox Community Hospital, in the community, for the community.
We are back with the Jackson Marketing Halftime Show here at Big Walnut High School. Big Walnut leading the way 25-0 over Hilliard Bradley. And Josh, what do you think of the first half so far?
You know, Bryce, I think it's been a really great first half, you know, from both sides of the ball for Big Walnut. I've been very interesting and very impressed on the boys on the offense. They've been really just been going up and down the field like they've been doing this before. You can definitely tell this is an experienced group that's been together since around like that sophomore year. Even for the players who haven't had that varsity experience, like we kind of mentioned earlier, you know, as they were blowing out so many teams, they were able to get experience in those second and third teams. So being able for them to kind of show that on offense and on defense as well has been a really great feat, in my opinion, Bryce. On defense, I think, you know, TJ Myers is having one of those games, and if he keeps this up, and I think he's putting his stamp on the type of season he can have, and you know, if we can talk, I think we kind of talk all state level. You know, 3 sacks, 1 tackle for loss in the first half alone. You know, that's usually a lot. That's a lot of players like full game stats. He's doing that at half, and we still got another half of football, especially when the Jaguars are going to be passing the ball more in the second half.
Taking a look at the halftime stats with just about a minute remaining until kickoff into the second half. Bradley with 5 first downs, 31 passing yards, 15 rushing yards, and 46 total yards. No turnovers on either side of the ball, and pretty clean 2 for 14 on penalties. Big Walnut on the other side, 11 first downs, pretty split even between the pass and the rushing yards. 115 passing yards, 132 rushing yards for a total of 247, and only 1 penalty for 5 yards. It was a false start.
Yeah, you know, and you know, kind of talking more about the Jaguars. You know, it could be a really intimidating feat going into, especially with Big Walnut. You know, you hear about the big bad wolf going in and out of Big Walnut. You had this game circled on your schedule the whole year in the off season, and you come in, you don't even score a point in the first half. You know, good thing for everybody in the United States, right? That football has 2 halves, right? So, you know, it's kind of you have to put that away, move on, and you know, hopefully they're able to get something going on in the second half for them to make it a game and for them to have some confidence going throughout their season. But it's only the first game of the season. You know, a lot of teams that look like week 1 don't look the same week 9. So, for both sides, right? So I'm interested to see how both teams are going to come out and respond, play the full game of football, Bryce.
Taking a look at the top performers for each side, Declan O'Neill for Hilliard Bradley is 4 for 8 with 31 passing yards. Take a look at the rushing stats. Rashad Truss, 22 rushing yards, and receiving as well has 22. On Big Walnut's side, Eli Stumpf is 8 for 10 with 115 passing yards and 2 touchdowns. Nolan Buirley with 11 rushes, 112 total yards on the rush, 1 touchdown for an average of 10.2 yards per carry. And Nolan Buirley also the leading receiver, 2 catches for 40 yards. And so Big Walnut winning the toss in the first, elects to receive it here.
Right.
And breaking away, smash. The ball comes out. A huge hit, and they say it will go to Hilliard Bradley.
Wow, Bryce, I said it once, I'll say it again. Special teams is a third of the game. And we thought it was going to be an electric play on the kick return, but it was an electric play on the kick, the kicking team. Wow. Talking about what a way to wake up the crowd. But that's what they need, right? To disrupt Uncle Mo, because Uncle Mo got real comfortable on this side of the bleachers, Bryce. But hopefully we can see if that momentum can kind of shift towards the Jaguars side. But I think the Jaguars definitely got Big Walnut's attention right then and there, Bryce, that they're not just going to go quiet to the night.
It looks like something on the field from the kickoff. They'll just run it over to the sideline before we resume play. It was Brady Simon with the carry, and he was hit head on hard. So now on the first down, they hand it off to Truss. Truss spins around before he's engulfed by a sea of red jerseys. He'll pick up a few yards, though.
And I'm interested to see, Bryce, how these Jaguars are going to come out after that kick return, right? We all heard their coach probably in halftime, right? The game's not over. You can still fight this game. But when you see a play like that, the first play of the second half, as a player, you have to be kind of reinvigorated, right? You have to have another breath of life, right? We're not going to just go. This is the first game of the season, guys. Let's turn it up a notch.
They'll hand it off to Truss, this time stretching it out wide. It'll bring up third down, just a few yards short of the first down marker.
Once again, he's just a hard runner. Running like his girlfriend broke up with him before the game. He runs mad. And that's what I like about him, right?
And that was kind of like an on-the-fly strategy switch I think we've seen in the game. They really were trusting Declan O'Neal to pass the ball, but the secondary was just overwhelming. Handing it off to Truss seemed kind of like an afterthought in the strategy, but boy, is it paying off for him.
Definitely, Bryce. You know, they kind of lean more on Truss. As we saw, you know, this Big Walnut's front seven is just ferocious. There's not a lot of time to pass the ball back there.
O'Neal throws it over the middle, the intended receiver.
A lot of passes are going to have to look like that. Quick 1, 2, 3, get out of my hands. Right? We've seen it. We talked about it in the halftime show, right? TJ Manning has 3 sacks and a tackle for loss, right? So they're going to have to figure something out. I wouldn't be surprised to go to maybe some RPO options if that's in their bag, something quick. But like you said, you know, they're going to have to do something different.
Trying to draw them off sides, no play called. Now they're calling it. A big fourth down situation, 4th and 2. The snap, hands it off to Truss. Truss crosses the first down marker, threatens to go even longer, but he's wrapped up by an arm.
You know, Bryce, I love that play call, right? You know, if you're the head coach, you know, you probably told your punter, hey, man, we loved everything you did in the first half, but guess what, man? Put yourself on ice. We're not using you for the rest of the game. That's what they're going to have to do. They want to get back in this game. They have to be aggressive.
So it makes it a first down. They're on their own 27, makes the yard to gain the 17. It'll have them cross into the red zone. If they do pick up that first down, it'll just be a pitch out. Noah McCreary was the receiver of that. He picks up about 5 yards as the deception works.
Now just a nice little shovel pass right there, Bryce. Get your playmakers in space. Pick up a nice little game for first down. Make it second and more manageable.
So 2nd and 6. 5 wide receivers set. They'll hand it off to Truss, looking for some blockers, getting out to the outside. He'll fight towards the first down marker. He'll get close. We'll see. Looks like they're going to rule him short.
Oh, look, they're going to give him the first down.
Oh, they will, yeah, first down. So in the red zone for Hilliard Bradley the first time tonight. Looking to put points on the board and avoid the shutout, but still plenty of football left to be played if they want to make a run at this one.
And I know we have a small sample size, Bryce, but this offense is humming a little bit. Have a little confidence in their step right now. As O'Neal's cutting up in the middle.
And all the focus being diverted to Truss. That was like the perfect opportunity to run that QB run.
But that's what the success in the running game gives you, Bryce. It opens up the doors to other possibilities in your offense. As we saw earlier in this game, O'Neal was able to get 2 yards in a cloud of dust, but now since Truss is having some success on the offensive side, it opens up way more things on offense for them. And that should help them, benefit them as they get into the red zone.
O'Neal takes the snap to Truss, bounces outside, inside the 5-yard line before he's brought down at the 2. So threatening to score as they're knocking on the door of the goal line.
Like I said, Bryce, you got to check this guy's IG. I'm pretty sure his girlfriend broke up with him before the game. He's running angry. But that's what they're going to need to have for the rest of the game. He's just not going down at the first point of contact.
So first and goal on the 1-yard line. Split back formation. The running back and O'Neal run into each other, but he'll be able to sneak it across the goal line for a touchdown. Hilliard Bradley on the board with 8:23 remaining here in the third.
Miscalculation, or some might say, but I think that was drawn up perfectly in the dirt, Bryce. Throw out the offense and the defense just enough for them to get the touchdown. And that's what the Jaguars need to get back in this game.
Take another look at that one as O'Neal and Gordon run into each other, but everyone, I think, thought that ball was going to Gordon, and that's what created that opportunity.
You know, Bryce, some might say that's a little, maybe a broken play that I found some gold, but I'm giving kudos to the offensive coordinator. What a way to draw it up in the dirt right there.
So the kick is good. They annihilated the kicker on the play, though, so that's going to cost him on the kickoff. We'll be right back with you.
At Knox Community Hospital, your primary care physician is more than someone who delivers your test results, more than someone who writes prescriptions, more than someone who listens to your heart. We are your healthcare partner who takes the time to know you, listen to your concerns, and provide you with expert personalized care to make and keep you well. Because to us, you're more than just numbers on a chart. You're a neighbor and a friend. Knox Community Hospital, in the community, for the community.
8:23 remaining here in the third quarter. Bradley is on the board with a touchdown and an extra point, and the roughing the kicker penalty will have them kicking from the 45. And that will sail right out the back of the end zone. Actually would have been field goal if it was a field goal formation, but all the same, Big Walnut going to start on the 20-yard line, and perhaps a little bit of adversity is now they've answered.
Definitely. Interesting to see how this Jaguars defense is going to come out after seeing their offense put some points on the board. Maybe this re-energizes the defense to get a stop, and who knows, you know, if you get the Jaguars to get a stop and put some more points on the board right here, Bryce, you know, a lot of people are talking about 35, we're in the clock, we're going to have a nice old Friday night-like game on our hands.
Yeah.
But it's going to be interesting to see the poisonous of this offense.
Does sit as a 3-possession game. Buirley takes the handoff following a couple of blockers. He'll pick up about 7 in the process.
In a hurry, Buirley carries up to the 28.
And that was just a great get back to usual play call right there. If it's broke, why fix it? If it's not broke, why fix it, right, Bryce? Buirley was able to pick up a nice 7. They're ahead of schedule as he had been in the first half. It opens up the play calling, see what they're going to call right here, Bryce.
So that puts Buirley at 120 rushing yards on the game. Rolling out to the right.
Oh!
Able to pull it back down. A great grab by Finn Stumpf.
Bryce, I know they're cousins now, just the way they've been playing pitch and catch right there. He didn't catch the ball. He took the ball out the air in that one, right? There's a difference. Look how he catches, how he snags it, right? He takes it out of the air, and that was just a great snag right there.
Really great to see the wide receivers getting in. I think that was the one thing that Big Walnut struggled with last year is they had good wide receivers, but it just wasn't enough to kind of draw that defensive focus away from Nolan Buirley.
Definitely. But once again, complimentary football, the running games opens up the passing game.
Spinning off the tackle, crossing the 50-yard line. Buirley will pick up a first down as they knock it into Jaguar territory.
Buirley once again doing Buirley things, cutting up on the defense. Hitting the B button one time for a nice spin, picking up the first down. He's around 130 yards right now, Bryce. Keep churning away, young man. Keep churning away. 132, my bad.
Yeah. So lining up under center. Not able to draw the encroachment. We'll give it to Buirley, who's dropped in the backfield. That time it was Caleb Lowry who was right on top of it.
And that was a good play by Lowry, able to knock through the offensive line right there, get a tackle for loss. First time I would say in a long time, the Big Walnut offense has been kind of knocked off schedule.
So 2nd and 10 as it ends up not being a loss, rather just back to the line of scrimmage. 3 wide receivers, looks to be a lone backfield. But they call over Buirley. They'll take him out wide. No, Stumpf's going to take it himself. Cutting back towards the field of play and runs out of bounds at the 31-yard line. So picking up the first down. Eli Stumpf getting it done on his feet.
And this is just one of the benefits of having Buirley in the backfield and, you know, giving the motion. Everybody's eyes are on him. Stumpf just pulls it. And once we said, once again, Stumpf is an electric runner, given the opportunity, Bryce. And he's able to, once again, tonight through the defense, pick up a nice first down, keep the chains moving. Exactly what you needed as a Big Walnut's offense is once again humming on all cylinders.
And you hear the pundits, you hear the coaches about why they were so drawn to Eli Stumpf, just an elite RPO runner, and that's what Michigan State is really trying to build their program around.
Definitely. You know, it just opens up the playbook, opens up what you can do in offense. And he can do stuff like this, Bryce.
Going towards the end zone, it'll be snuffed out, incomplete. A helmet coming off in the backfield, so he's going to have to come off. No flag. So it looks like just some incidental contact forced the helmet off.
Even right there in that read by Stumpf, he was able to stick with his first read in that corner right there, and then the flood concept, right? Just wasn't able to connect in the corner of the end zone, but that's just, you see the progression as him as a leader in his offense. Not giving up on the play.
They'll fake the handoff, end up throwing it wide, putting his head down, trying to force his way forward is Stumpf, and some extracurriculars along the sidelines, but it looks like they'll just settle things there.
And that was a good bubble right there. Trying to get something.
Does make it 3rd down, though, 3rd and 6.
Definitely makes the 3rd down a little more manageable for the Big Walnut offense. This is pretty big down for the Jaguars defense. They're able to get off the field right here, Bryce. See what they got. So they're bringing pressure right now.
The line to gain is the 21-yard line. Call him in the pocket, sensing pressure. He's rolling out to his right. He wants to pick it up himself, and he will just slide. A smart play from Eli Stumpf to knock it into the red zone just a few yards from the 10.
Oh, Bryce, the word of the day today for a Big Walnut offense is poise. They've been poised all day from the first whistle. And that was just a great play to illustrate that, right? The play breaks down. I feel like a year ago, some maybe trying to got a little more, but he knows what's on the table. He knows what, that's a slide that's going to be way more beneficial when it comes to November. He's taking care of his body.
And so under center is Stumpf. They'll hand it off to Buirley. Buirley will wrestle a sea of white jerseys before they finally blow it dead with the forward progress.
That was inside the 10.
Well, that's what you need from your play caller, Bryce. Steadying the play or just picking up the first down, keep the chains moving. Especially at this level of football, that's half the game, right?
Yeah. So here on 2nd down and 6, the line to gain the first is the 3. Looking to the air, to the corner. Bowers, the intended receiver, but he can't pull it in. Able to get his hands on it, but he had 2 defenders right on his back. It was a tough basket catch he would have had to pull down.
And that's a hard throw, but Stumpf put it in the only places that Bowers was able to get it. That's just like you said, the defense was straight on his back. He had to catch that perfectly, but just wasn't able to take that down right there.
The complete pass brings up a 3rd and 6.
But I like Bowers. I like this new era of tight end.
Yeah.
He's big, he's physical, he gets out there, he runs. He's not afraid to put his hands up and say, hey man, hit me the ball, man.
Yeah. Inside of 4 minutes remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Stumpf with the pressure on him, running forward towards the 1st down marker. He'll reach across, and they're going to mark him just a yard short. So let's take another look at that one. It's not my favorite spot, but it will bring up 4th and 1. It looks like maybe Owen Pyle's time.
Interesting to see what they're going to get the play calls here.
Nope, they're going with the offense.
This is huge for both sides of the ball.
Giving it to Buirley, looking for his 2nd touchdown of the night. He fights forward. He gets the 1st down to buy him at least a new set of downs, but the team push isn't enough to push him across the goal line. So it'll be 1st and goal as the chain gang lays him down.
Smart running.
And that's just once again Iron Man putting on the suit of armor, saving the Avengers once again, right? Buirley doing what Buirley can do.
This has been a nice little test for Big Walnut tonight. I mean, I'm sure it's a heck of a lot better than facing Bishop Watterson week 1 the past 2 years and facing that tough talent. But this is a nice little test of what Big Walnut's capable of, I think. So Buirley finishing where he left off on the last play for his 2nd touchdown of the night. Touchdown, Big Walnut, 31-7.
Never fear, Buirley is here. What is that, like 100 and too many yards to count, right? But that's what he is. 140, right? It's a third quarter. This is what he's been doing, right? Ever since sophomore year. Buirley's just doing Buirley things. And that was just a good old-fashioned textbook Big Walnut drive. Like we said, the word of the day is poise. You know, they could have been shuffling or scrambling, you know, since the Jaguars scored, but they stay true to themselves and put 7 on the board.
So they line up in the field goal formation, and those little trick formations they run, I mean, it just requires such an expert level of understanding of what is a legal formation and what isn't. I mean, it works so well for them.
Definitely, Bryce. And it's just, it can be really annoying as a defense because it's just one more thing you have to stay attuned to. You know, they just went down the field on us. We're tired, we're huffing and puffing. And now there's the one last thing you have to do is make sure that they don't run a fake on us, right?
So we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back with you. 3:09 remaining here in the third.
At Knox Community Hospital, your primary care physician is more than someone who delivers your test results, more than someone who writes prescriptions, more than someone who listens to your heart. We are your healthcare partner who takes the time to know you, listen to your concerns, and provide you with expert personalized care to make and keep you well. Because to us, you're more than just numbers on a chart. You're a neighbor and a friend. Knox Community Hospital, in the community, for the community.
Just 3:09 remains here in the third quarter as Big Walnut kicks it away after a Nolan Buirley touchdown. A great run forward as they have excellent field position right around the 35 is where it'll be caught up. It was Trey Paulius who was the carrier. Had the fumble earlier, but this time making up for that.
Definitely, he definitely has been making up throughout this game, Bryce. But kind of going back to Big Walnut's offense, just, you know, break down the numbers. You know, Buirley has 140 for 17 carries. He's averaging about like 8.2 yards per carry right now. That's just insane, right?
Yeah, averaged 10 last year. I mean, those are video game numbers at that point.
Can't even do that on my Road to Glory in NCAA, Bryce.
Yeah. So it'll be a pickup of about 5 off of the pass, so it makes it 2nd and 5. It was Paulius again with the catch. Paulius with his 2nd catch of the night.
2nd down 5.
Once again, you know, the Jaguars had success on offense last time they were on the field, trying to recoup that magic this time on the series.
So on 2nd down, they'll hand it off, this time to Truss. Truss sprints across the 1st down marker and picks up about 10 more in the process as they've managed to get it inside of Big Walnut territory.
And that was just a good pickup by Truss right there. Able to find a hole, able to get to that 2nd level.
And so a brief injury timeout. I think they were able to get him off quickly, so it shouldn't interfere with play too much. But it does make it a 1st down. Oh, right on the 50-yard line, they'll roll it. So from neutral ground, they'll have 3 wide receivers and Truss on his right hip. Truss, the spin move has been trusty for him tonight, but he'll only able to get back to the line of scrimmage as it brings up 2nd down and 10.
And that's just hard running by Truss once again. Just wasn't able to find anything. Big Walnut's front 7 had a great push in that last play, Bryce. See, like they're kind of tightening up the holes, constricting this Jaguars offense to try to pass the ball.
It'll be O'Neal running out to his right, finds a receiver all alone. It's McCreary as he's hit out of bounds, brought down by Jackson Dews.
And that was a great play action right there, Bryce. Opening up the pass to find McCreary underneath. Able to move the chains. Sorry, Bryce.
Taking a look at the graduating seniors for Big Walnut on the defensive side: Landon Doan, Matson Yano, Clint Stover, Will Clausen, Eli Helton, Jake Neff, Brady Taylor, Brody Hatfield. I mean, a lot of these names that played really big roles last year are not on this defense, and I think this is kind of an adjustment period.
Definitely, Bryce, and you know, like you said, this is kind of a good game for this defense, right? They're going to be on the field a little more often, kind of get used with one another, as we see TJ Minor get on the field. But like you said, they're gonna be tested. You know, if it's not gonna be tonight, it's gonna be another night. But a lot of young guys on this side of the field, a lot of young talent, another anxious to prove themselves, Bryce.
45 remain in the 3rd. They'll pass over the middle, able to pull it in, picking up about 4 yards in the process. It'll make it 2nd down. 3rd down, rather.
And once again, look at TJ Minor. He's just kind of bulldozes through the offensive line, making the quarterback kind of really accelerate his thinking process. Yeah. He met him 3 times earlier in the first half. I'm pretty sure he doesn't meet him anymore for the rest of the game. But
3 tackles for a loss and already a sack and a half for Minor. Stepping up into the pocket, he'll just take it himself, gets it across the 1st down marker, and will roll forward for a couple extra yards. Right around the 31 is where they'll rule him down after the 1st down. And that will end the 3rd quarter, so stay with us for the 4th and final quarter here in week 1 from the Eagles Nest. Stay with us.
This is the end of the 3rd quarter.
Call Buckeye Horizon, your local trained comfort specialist.
I like being able to give back to the community, and just our teamwork is really solid. It makes it an incredible place to work because a lot of people enjoy what they're doing and want to help out.
You get to learn every day. You get to meet very unique people. I get to interact with everyone from the clinical staff to the administrative staff. Everyone has something to offer. It's kind of like a million puzzle pieces coming together to make one large, beautiful piece.
Back for 4th quarter action. The scenario is 1st and 10 Jaguar ball. They're on the 26 of Big Walnut. The line to gain is the 16-yard line.
Interested to see what they're going to call on offense right now, Bryce. Kind of everything has been working for them. Little pass, little run.
So there's a pause. There's a coach on the field talking to a player. At least I think that's a coach. Oh, you know, now that I think about it, I think it might be TV since CW's here. They're doing a TV timeout.
Gotcha. Well, Bryce, I just want to say I've just been looking forward to going throughout the season with you. I'm excited.
It's going to be a good one.
I got a feeling it is.
So back for fourth quarter action finally, handing it off inside, this time to Gordon. Gordon flips forward, picks up 5 in the process. A lot of 5-yard gains tonight.
Oh, it was a good sign on offense. You know, unfortunately, it just seemed like the offense is humming. A little too late for them, but see if they're able to get some points here this drive, Bryce.
So here on second down, the lineup stepping up in the pocket. O'Neal has some space. He has to get rid of it now, though. Looking towards the end zone, hits the hands of the intended receiver. Looks like that receiver was Miles Mason, but he just couldn't pull it in.
And O'Neal, that's a great progression. You know, just hate that you can't connect to your receiver in the back of the end zone, but you gotta give kudos to, once again, his Big Walnut front 7 has just not made it comfortable for this quarterback all night. I feel like he's been running and running.
So 3rd and 4, they have to get to the 16, right on the line of the red zone. Looking to the air, up in the pocket. Minor seizing the gap quickly. Ball coming out, it looks like, but Big Walnut will pull it away. That'll be TJ Minor on the forced fumble, it looks like.
Salmoyer recovered the fumble.
TJ Minor making a major play, Bryce.
And so Big Walnut picking up possession once again, and they have 80 yards to go, but with 11 minutes on the clock, you get the sense that the pace is going to be rather slow.
They're going to take the air out of the ball, Bryce. Do what they do best. Just chop the wood and run the ball.
So here on first down, they'll give it to Buirley, who bounces out wide to the left, following a pair of blockers. He stays on his feet, picks up the first down, and about 5 more as the chain gang will move.
And I know we've been talking about Trust being an angry runner all day, but let's not get confused on how good the locomotive of Nolan Buirley is.
So there's a man down right around the 30-yard line, so we'll have an injury timeout. We'll take a super quick break.
At Knox Community Hospital, your primary care physician is more than someone who delivers your test results, more than someone who writes prescriptions, more than someone who listens to your heart. We are your healthcare partner who takes the time to know you, listen to your concerns, and provide you with expert personalized care to make and keep you well. Because to us, you're more than just numbers on a chart. You're a neighbor and a friend. Knox Community Hospital, in the community, for the community.
So after the injury timeout, Big Walnut will be on their own 35-yard line. The clock will start to tick, 10:45 remaining. Sending the motion man, they'll pass, cutting back. Great pickup as a walk out of bounds. It was Stumpf with the completion.
And it was just a great pitch and catch from cousin to cousin, Bryce. Had the motion kind of to distract the defense going one way. Quick little pickup on the other side to stump to Stumpf. Oh, it's going to be fun saying that all season, Bryce.
Yeah. I mean, we kind of got used to it during the basketball season with the addition of Gabe Stumpf.
True, as well. Stumpf family has always been good. Always nice to see them out and about.
Yeah. This time they'll hand it off to Buirley. Stiff arms one, having trouble in the backfield before he's finally whistled dead about 2 yards short of the line of scrimmage. They'll call it 1, so it brings up 3rd and 3.
Hey, once again, Bryce, you're not going to be in any hurry to get back to the line on this one.
You're absolutely right as we're crossing the 10-minute mark. Play clock down to 3. They snap it. Harrington, the receiver, makes the catch. First down and into Jaguar territory. So great play when it matters, and we mentioned it once already, but 3rd down, a real sore spot for Big Walnut last year. They were okay on 4th down. I mean, more than 50% of the time they converted, but I mean, it would just take so much pressure off the weight of this offense if they could knock down those 3rd down conversions.
Definitely, Bryce, definitely. One of those things that they're trying to get better this season.
Out of the pistol, they give it to Buirley. Buirley splitting some tacklers. He's hit at the knees, brought down at the 36-yard line of the Jaguars. So the chains will move again.
And that's once again just a devastating blow of what we know of Buirley, especially around this time of the game. He just gets better and better.
So to the line of scrimmage. Clock continues to waste away. 10 on the play clock now. Going with the RPO, they'll find Harrington again, who tiptoes out of bounds right around the 31-yard line. So more positive yardage.
And a great decision by Stumpf right there. Didn't really see it in the RPO action. Hit a receiver everything outside. It'll pick a nice chunk of change on 1st down.
Completed pass, 2nd and 6.
So under center this time for 2nd down. 2nd and 6. Dropping back to pass, looking towards the end zone. Harrington, the intended receiver, but just out of his reach.
I like that all the way up to the catching part, Bryce. He did a good job. Be his man. Kudos to Stumpf for finding him deep. Just a little bit out of his touch right there.
Incomplete pass brings up a 3rd down for the Eagles.
So here on 3rd down, it's 3rd and 6. Looks like 5 in the backfield for the Jaguars. And Stumpf is hit as he throws, and it looks like he throws an interception.
Throws an interception, Bryce. That is something that he does not like to see.
Yeah, an otherwise great game so far, and yeah, just hopping right on top of it.
That's not going to look as pretty in the stat book right there, Bryce. You know, this one's probably got everything besides done, but that's one that he wishes he's going to have. He can have back, Bryce. I bet you that one.
A lone backfield for O'Neill as they take over on their own 22-yard line here on first down. Stepping up into the pocket, seen a lot of this so far tonight, makes a couple of men miss before O'Neill's finally brought down after a first down and 5 more.
And that was once again a great run by O'Neill, able to knife through the first and second level of that defense. Give the offense a little more breathing room.
It was Cole Swanger, who was a bit slow to get up, but back into the huddle. Oh no, they'll call him off on a little bit of a limp.
That first game conditioning, maybe a little bit of a cramp, Bryce. Hopefully you can see him back on the field soon.
Definitely.
Jaden Young into the game.
So 32-7, Big Walnut leads this one, trying to take a crack at shortening this lead as they pick up another first down and a healthy gain after it, brought down at the 45 of Big Walnut.
And they're able to move the chains and get a big chunk of yards right there, Bryce. Seems like they're kind of figuring out on offense as we get in late, which is great news for them as the season progresses. You know, once again, it's always that first game jitters. You know, sometimes it might be a slow start, but seems like the offense is doing pretty well, I'll say.
So with 7:25 remaining, they'll take the snap. Looks over the middle and would have been a huge reception if he would have brought it down, but just off of his hands, he's got to be disappointed.
Yeah, Bryce, that's one he wish he could have back right there. Doesn't really get much better than that. You know the cardinal rule, number one, if you're a receiver, if it hits both your hands, you got to catch it.
So it makes it a 2nd down and 10 scenario. Got to get it to the 35 if they want to make another first down. Once again with the lone backfield.
Big Walnut's bringing pressure, and they're just engulfed in the back line, Bryce. Oh my goodness.
So it was Cole Swanger who penetrated the backfield and got in time, but he's on a limp a bit again. TJ Miner with the other half of that sack.
Once again, Bryce, they said if you can't take the heat, get out the kitchen, and Big Walnut offense has turned up another octane, bringing up around 6-7 players up to the line of scrimmage. Not letting O'Neill even think about what he's going to do next.
With the 3-man rush, the nose guard will drop back to cover over the middle, but hit at the right at the 50-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 2 and forces 4th down and long.
You can hear the exclamation from the defensive coordinator right there, because it's finally, you see your defense finally figuring out something that's been kind of giving them problems all day, which is the screen, right? And they snuck that one out and had for a monster loss for the offense of the Jaguars.
And we'll have a timeout called by Big Walnut. We'll take a quick break.
Timeout, Big.
Call Buckeye Horizon, your local trained comfort specialist.
I like being able to give back to the community, and just our teamwork is really solid. It makes it an incredible place to work because a lot of people enjoy what they're doing and want to help out.
You get to learn every day. You get to meet very unique people. I get to interact with everyone from the clinical staff to the administrative staff. Everyone has something to offer. It's kind of like a million puzzle pieces coming together to make one large, beautiful piece.
So after the timeout called by Big Walnut, it'll be 4th and 14. Some trickery earlier on a punt tonight, but not this time. And almost took a lucky bounce for Bradley, but it does go into the end zone for a touchback.
And Bryce, I know this one is kind of all said but done, but interesting to see how this Big Walnut offense is going to come out. Are they going to go with Stumpf? Yep, look like most of the starters are going back in. It's early on the season. Want to make sure we got everything coming for the next game, right?
Got all the reps in, yep. So Bowers in motion. They'll give it to Buirley. We cross 6 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. Buirley barrels forward, brought down for a pickup of 9. It'll make it 2nd and 1.
And Nolan Buirley going to his yards per carry average for today. A little over, picking up 9 yards right there. And this part of the game is just so hard to tackle him, Bryce. He's been gashing you all day. You're tired. It's the first game of the season. You're down by a lot, and I guarantee you this is the last thing that the defense want to do is tackle this guy right here, right now.
It looks like they'll line up in the I formation with Stumpf under center. Bowers in the slot on the left. Hand it off to Buirley once again. Picks up the first down as he bursts through the line for more. He's hit hard and stumbles across the 40-yard line.
Guy looked like I ran over twice right there, right, Bryce? He hit him, he bounced back up, and he
push him back over.
Down.
Yeah.
But it just shows once again the conditioning and what was asked by Buirley and how he kind of came up and answered the call, especially if it's for the first game at least, right, Bryce? He playing both sides of the ball. There's so many questions probably heard. You know, it's this new age and social media is so prevalent. You know, he probably heard some chirp and chatter, and you know, I think he's able to silence the crews at least for one more week, Bryce.
Most definitely, as we're back to the line for first down. And fighting for a couple of yards, not much more. Braden Neverman this time on the carry. Neverman with 8 rushes for 59 yards and a touchdown last season against Hayes.
Hey, that's just one thing I really just admire about these front 5 of guys, Bryce. I'm going to try to talk about these big guys in front as much as I can because they deserve all the praise. Those 2,000 yards aren't only on Buirley, it's everybody, right? And you can tell they just enjoy pushing these guys around for all 60 minutes. That's just good football right there, Bryce.
We'll hand it off to Neverman again. Neverman fights forward, picks up a few extra yards as it makes it 3rd down and medium.
Carries up to 37. Jason Camacho in on the stop for Bradley.
One of those things, that's just as an offense, trying to find who you are. What do you want to do? And I think the statement has been made for Big Walnut is that they want to be a run-first offense. I feel like that game in Anderson, they kind of got away from that, you know? But You know, it's week 1. There's a lot of football being played left, right. So I just have a good feeling that they're going to be able to do what they want to do.
Throwing over the middle to Bowers, the safe option. They'll pick up the first down.
Especially if they keep playing like this.
Hudson Kelly brings him down near the 38. First down for
So
the
with
Eagles.
3 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter, Big Walnut smelling victory.
Right, you know, they say that, you know, there's a overly large lady. She usually tends to sing, but I'm not saying she's singing right now, but she's definitely warming up her vocal cords in the back right now.
She's gargling with salt water, doing the whole 9 yards.
Yep, she's picking out her red Jelly Ranchers in the backstage room, getting ready to take stage.
Neverman cutting back inside. A healthy run for him as he picks up about 6.
Perkins, number 13,
Approaching the 2-minute mark remaining here in the fourth quarter, and overall a good night for Big Walnut. Just a couple of blemishes, giving up the score, the interception, but aside from that, it's been a stellar night for them.
Probably will say the kickoff fumbled too.
Yeah,
on top of that, you know, some things you want to definitely clean up. But overall, like you said, you're going to get out of here for W. So, you know, that's all stuff you can talk about and film tomorrow. But nonetheless, like I said at the beginning of the game, you know, there's half the teams in Ohio right now are either 1-0 or going to be 0-1. And it's always good to be in the former right there, Bryce, being 1-0.
And for Big Walnut, it's their first time being 1-0 since 2022.
Definitely.
Last 2 seasons, tough losses against Bishop Watterson, a really talented team. Bishop Watterson moving up a division, actually joining Big Walnut's region. This is by far the toughest region in the state of Ohio.
It's going to be interesting. A lot of great football teams. And so especially for Big Walnut, you want to stay healthy. You want to play good football as the season progresses. But, you know, hopefully for them, this isn't the best game they're going to play this season. But I have a good feeling about this, Bryce. They seem like they're poised, seem like they're experienced. See, they have all the attributes to make a nice run here.
And of course, a big schedule addition this season. Big Walnut traveling all the way down to Ironton, and they will take on Ironton, past Division 5 state champions. I think they were back-to-back. They beat Danville, who we covered quite a bit, and recently went through some suspensions with recruiting. They weren't allowed to play in the postseason the past couple of years. So really going to be an interesting matchup there.
Definitely, Bryce.
Timeout.
You know, I know the
Big Walnut.
division's this, division's that, but, you know, good football teams rise to the occasion, and Ironton's a good football team, and Big Walnut's a good football team as well. I'm excited to pop some corn and sit back with you and watch that one.
That will be a good one. We are making the trip down there. Like I said, we are doing every game this season here at the OH Report, just like last year. So leading performers tonight for Big Walnut, Eli Stumpf is 14 for 20 with 126 yards passing, 2 touchdowns and an interception. Nolan Buirley, 137 yards on 22 rushes, 2 touchdowns to his credit for an average of 6.2 yards per carry. Eli Stumpf also had 6 carries for 54 yards, an average of 9 yards per carry. Top receivers are Jackson Bowers, Nolan Buirley, and Finn Stumpf. It was Bowers and Buirley each had 2 receptions for 45 yards and 40 respectively. Finn Stumpf had 5 receptions for 29 yards, and Harrington with 4 receptions for 1. Also adding to Big Walnut's total tonight was Owen Piles with a 29-yard field goal, and defensively the leaders were Cole Swanger, Gage Eckelbarger, and TJ Miner, as well as Bo Drake. Bo Drake really stepping up quite a bit this season. Last year we saw him on a strip sack where he ran it all the way back for a touchdown, but
with the ball.
Kind of played more a position where he was like plugging holes, trying to find opportunities to stop. Not too many tackles, but this year he's really stepped up in a big way and secured a lot of those tackles. Last year only 19.5 tackles, but 6.5 of them were for a loss.
Definitely. And you know, sometimes it can be, like we said earlier in this game, all those kind of seniors leaving. You know, sometimes there's a really good junior, but there's just got a lot of senior guys ahead of them, right? And being in that situation, you know, but it's one of those situations where, you know, as he gets his time to shine, you know, he's just a good football player. Finding any way he can get on the field, special teams, anything. And you can definitely show that he's determined and anxious to make his mark here as the Big Walnut ironclad defense, right?
And so doesn't look like there will be another timeout called. It was Big Walnut that called the last two, but time will continue to tick. Just 5 on the clock now, and it looks like it will be Big Walnut walking away with the victory here, 32-7 over Hilliard Bradley. Stay with us for the post-game show and the MVP interview coming up next.
When it comes to comfort, every degree matters. At Buckeye Horizon, we proudly install and maintain Trane heating and cooling systems built to last, engineered for performance. And with our expert service, your home stays comfortable year-round. No matter the season, we'll keep your system running at its best. Call Buckeye Horizon at 419-529-2738, your local Trane comfort specialist.
At Avita Home Health and Hospice, our caring professionals are ready to serve you with personally tailored services designed to meet the unique needs of each individual. When we take on a patient at Avita Home Health and Hospice, they really do feel like family. So when we take care of our family, we want to take care of the whole person. So we take care of them from our nurses, our aides, our physical, occupational, and speech therapists, but we also have people that tend to their hearts. So we have social workers, we have chaplains, and people that can help with the emotional side of their care.
At Avita Home Health and Hospice, we have a dedicated team that takes care of you. Caring for the whole person is our promise to you. From social and emotional well-being to the way the patient relates to their loved ones, we treat your family like our family.
Serving patients and their families wherever they call home, including assisted living facilities and nursing homes. Call 1-800-4NURSES to see if Avita can help administer your plan of custom care.
At Knox Community Hospital, your primary care physician is more than someone who delivers your test results, more than someone who writes prescriptions, more than someone who listens to your heart. We are your healthcare partner who takes the time to know you, listen to your concerns, and provide you with expert personalized care to make and keep you well. Because to us, you're more than just numbers on a chart. You're a neighbor and a friend. Knox Community Hospital, in the community, for the community.
Take a look at all the action from Friday Night Football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH Report.
dropping in for the Jackson Marketing Company post-game show. And Big Walnut walking away with the 1-0 record for the first time since 2022, and a big one at that, 32-7 over Hilliard Bradley, a D1 school that went 6-6 last year. Certainly a victory to be proud of.
Definitely, Bryce. They came in, they took care of business, and they got out of here. They did what we kind of expected them to do, but they were poised about it, right? The experience definitely showed and showcased tonight, and they're 1-0. You know, and if you stack a bunch of 1-0s, you have a pretty good season.
Taking a look at the post-game stats, and Bradley, 9 first downs, 27 passing yards, 92 rushing yards for a total of 109. 1 turnover, 2 penalties for a total of 14 yards. Big Walnut, 18 first downs, 126 passing yards, 211 rushing yards for a total of 337. And 1 for 5 on the penalties, a couple of turnovers for him on the night as well. So I think a little bit more variance out of Big Walnut. Usually we'd see him kind of just put the nose down, hit the gaps running, but we saw a lot of passes from Eli Stumpf, and we got a lot of good looks too.
And definitely, and it wasn't just, like you said, handing it down and, you know, hand the ball inside the zone. You know, they're getting Buirley involved in sweeps, bubbles, and then they're also getting the offense involved in RPOs as well, right? So you can definitely tell, like, their wide receiver presence is going to be more of a known threat this season coming around, or they're trying to establish that early on in the season, Bryce.
Taking a look at the scoring breakdown, Big Walnut got out in front early with the field goal and then the touchdown in the second quarter. They put up 15 points and tied the third 7-7. So that brought us to the 32-7 victory for Big Walnut. Taking a look at what is coming up next for Hilliard Bradley, it's going to be the rivalry game against Hilliard Derby on the 28th for Big Walnut. They're going to be taking on Dublin Kaufman here at home, and we will have that one for you as well. Stay with us as we wait for our MVP, and then we'll close us out for the night.
At Knox Community Hospital, your primary care physician is more than someone who delivers your test results, more than someone who writes prescriptions, more than someone who listens to your heart. We are your healthcare partner who takes the time to know you, listen to your concerns, and provide you with expert personalized care to make and keep you well. Because to us, you're more than just numbers on a chart. You're a neighbor and a friend. Knox Community Hospital, in the community, for the community.
How you doing? Joshua Harrison with the TMS Digital MVP today with TJ Miner. First and foremost, how you doing today?
Doing good, doing good.
TJ, you had 2.5 sacks, 3 tackles for loss, 3 tackles, 1 forced fumble. First and foremost, kind of taking me through that forced fumble. What was kind of going through your mind as you kind of made that play?
I just got to do whatever to make my team, help my team out.
Definitely. Great. 100%. So kind of going to our next question, you was in the backfield constantly tonight. What did your teammates do to kind of help you put yourself in that position to make those big plays?
They know how to get me riled up, so they know how to get the aggression out of me, so yeah.
Definitely. Kind of coming off that loss last season, what was kind of the mindset of all season and going into camp this year? What were you guys really trying to improve on, and what you guys wanted your identity to be?
Me personally, I just wanted to get more conditioned and just get faster and better with my feet.
Definitely. I kept on saying it throughout this game. You're not a States minor. You're making a lot of major plays. What was kind of your favorite play tonight?
That drive where I had a bunch of stuff going on. That first drive.
That first drive, you had the sack and the tackle for loss as well? That's a pretty good one as well. All right, TJ, you've been feasting on the Jaguars offense all night. What's the afternoon or what's the game night snack tonight?
I don't know. I got to go home and see what mom's making.
See what mom's making? Well, hopefully spaghetti or something, right? All right, TJ, thank you so much. Congratulations being 1-0. And congrats to you, and good luck next season.
Call Buckeye Horizon, your local trained comfort specialist.
I like being able to give back to the community, and just our teamwork is really solid. It makes it an incredible place to work because a lot of people enjoy what they're doing and want to help out.
You get to learn every day. You get to meet very unique people. I get to interact with everyone from the clinical staff to the administrative staff. Everyone has something to offer. It's kind of like a million puzzle pieces coming together to make one large, beautiful piece.
I had my towel.
Closing us out here for week 1 from Big Walnut High School. Take one opportunity to thank all of our sponsors who support our live and free coverage right here on the OH Report. Jackson Marketing. Contact them at Instagram, www.instagram.com/JacksonMarketingCo. Buckeye Insurance Group. Trust Buckeye Insurance Group and your local agency, Marla Evans, to provide you with exceptional insurance protection, quality customer service. Sunbury Christian Church. Call 740-965-2630 to get your child enrolled in preschool. Registration for the fall is now open. That's 740-965-2630. First Federal Community Bank, banking locally just got easier. TMS Plus digital marketing for local businesses. Buckeye Horizon. Tonight's broadcast is presented by Buckeye Horizon Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, your local trained comfort specialist in Knox Community Hospital, in the community, for the community. I'm Bryce Coder, your play-by-play commentator and director for the evening. I'd like to thank Joshua Anderson for joining me on color commentary, as well as Matt Thompson joining me for his camera debut. You'll be hearing a lot from him during the volleyball and soccer season coming up soon this fall. For all those watching at home, please take care of yourselves, take care of each other. Have a great rest of your night.